I want to apologize for everybody whose name I've read out, and I'm probably butchering it if it's your real name. Okay, sorry. But love the Art Nouveau style of the posters. I also really like the artistic influence for Secret of Kells. I would be interested to hear about your visual development process, how you create your mood board and develop your visual treatment. Will you discuss the film's art direction as well? How do you come up with such interesting shapes and silhouettes when illustrating? So that's kind of for both of us. Maybe you want to take it first.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I love Art Nouveau. I'm mostly a fan of what's called Jugendstil, which is the Austrian and German contemporary of Art Nouveau, somewhere between the geometry of Art Deco and the curves of Art Nouveau. Um, and yeah, as far as, I don't do mood boards and stuff. That's more for you. But shapes and silhouettes, yeah, I mean, how do you find them? With the pencil, you see them in the world around you. And again, paying attention to yourself and paying attention to the things that you notice, and just starting to be observing, okay, what things am I attracted to? Um, and then, over years and years of drawing, you start to notice certain things that you do that feel good and that you like and that work in your pictures. And yeah, I like curves a lot. I'm not as into straight lines. I like things that bring motion through the picture. And then the other thing about shapes when you're illustrating for print and so on, not for motion necessarily, is starting simple, starting with like little thumbnail sketches where you don't have the space to go into detail. The only thing you have room for is the really basic shapes of the picture. If you start working that way and you make sure that you don't continue on with that piece until the tiny version of it with no details already looks good, and
Mm.
ideally already starts to show what you're trying to show, then you know that when you go on to the next step, the big shapes are already working, right? And you do that at every stage, and you leave all the little finicky stuff to the end. So that's
That's
what I would say about
exactly the
coming
same.
up with
That's
shapes.
exactly the same. I mean, we work on little tiny storyboards, and if it works as a postage stamp, it'll work on the big screen. So that's a thing. And for me, there's a little bit more thought in than just intuition for shapes. I think we use a visual language where we tend to try and make a story around shapes. So like in Wolfwalkers,
Yeah, right.
everybody to do with the town were based on geometry, squares, like very, everyone was kind of trapped in their little stiff worldview that they couldn't see beyond. And so everybody was kind of square and stuff. And then everybody in the forest was more flowy and animals were more flowy. And so the shape language was kind of planned at the beginning. And maybe it would be an interesting challenge to try and tell a story where a square character is actually the free one or whatever. But just for
Right.
us,
Yeah.
felt those felt like the shapes that went with the inner world of the characters.